Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Marilyn Shannon, and this is the Breaking Free Show. And I'm so happy to have you all here today. It's a personal day for me, and I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. So before I get on with the show, I want to say hi to Amnon. Hello.
Hello, Marilyn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am just fine, thank you.
I missed you last week. We had a little,
Yeah, we had the little
a little, a
technical,
little thing,
mishap.
a little thing,
yeah,
a little
but
thing.
it's all right.
Yeah, but
Life
we'll move
goes
right
on.
But you never listen. You never know. You just got to be ready for anything and move forward. And here we go. Right.
Yep,
All right. Everything's good. Right.
everything's good.
Okay. Good. So today, I am so happy to introduce all of you to my mommy, Gloria Lippman. Hey, Ma.
Hi, Ma.
How you doing?
Great.
Good.
On your show, I'm very happy.
So I don't know how many of these have you done, Ma? How many years have you been a special guest on my show?
10.
At least six.
At least six. At least six. So at least 6 times my mother comes every summer. And at least one time during that summer, she is a guest on our show and she shares mommy wisdom. But maybe not only mommy wisdom, but Gloria wisdom. And she's brilliant. She's amazing. And she is a twin. And inspiration for my latest book, which I'm going to show everybody now, which is right here and it's on Amazon and it's In Just One Afternoon, Listening to the Hearts of Twins. And I have to say my mother is a twin and they are both very vibrant women out and about driving their kids nuts too. They're both incredible. They're amazing. They get dressed. They have their hair done. They're amazing. And you're going to have an opportunity to hear from my mother in person, and then you're going to hear from my aunt on the phone, which is the first time ever that she will be calling in from New Jersey. So it's very exciting and very personal, and I love twins. And we're going to talk about the inspiration behind that whole concept. But I want you to know that you can call in anytime you want at 919-518-9773, or you can come in on Skype, and that's Computers 2K Voice, anytime you want. And then we also have a chat. Please feel free to join us there. Just put your name, nickname, whatever you want us to call you, and we will. And we don't have to call you anything, really. Just put your name in there, whatever, and whatever comments, questions that you might have as we go forward with the show. So it's really exciting to have you. So, Mom, and I have to say this before we get on, how old do you think my mother is? And, of course, my aunt's the same age. So I'm not going to say anything. I think it would be really cool if you all just kind of went in the chat, if anybody wanted to, and just put a number in there and just tell us how old you think this lady is, because it's extraordinary. So anyway, Mom.
Yes, Meryl.
Oh, and the one more thing we have to say. We just became, go ahead, what'd you just become?
A great grandma of 11 boys and 1 girl.
You just
So
had
it's-
your 11th boy,
That's right.
my 4th grandson, on Saturday, right?
And he's one of 12
Right. So we're excited. So we have that. Thank you, Amnon.
to celebrate.
We have that to celebrate together, which is really cool. And it's modern America. And wherever you are, maybe you're in England, maybe you're in Australia. I don't know, wherever you are. But and maybe it's different there. I don't know. But this is the first time that my mother was able to be in the room as well. So I was in there. My other daughter was in there. My son-in-law was in there. And my mother was in the room as well. What was that like? That was the first time you got to do that, other than when you were
An
delivering.
experience of a lifetime. I will never forget, from beginning to end, watching my granddaughter give birth to her second child, a boy. And I watched the delivery from the moment she came into the hospital till the baby was born. It was exciting.
It was exciting.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I mean, things are so different today. I mean, you could
And
never.
you don't know what it's a
Yeah,
boy
we didn't
or a
know.
girl.
We didn't know what
We
it
didn't
was.
know.
We definitely thought it was a
Girl this time.
this time, and my daughter thought it was a girl, even though She wasn't exactly sure because she didn't want to know. My son-in-law knew, my daughter didn't, but she actually really thought it was a girl. She hung a crystal lamp in the room, and it's a neutral color for the baby's room, but she hung a crystal lamp because she really thought that it was going to be a girl, and it isn't. It's a boy.
It's a real boy.
It's a real boy. So what was that like being in there? It's very different than, when you were growing up.
I didn't even know that they do that today. I have never experienced it, and I've been to every delivery. Whether they were more liberal in this hospital, it's possible.
Maybe.
Or maybe I got lost in the shuffle. They didn't know
Maybe you were in the corner. They didn't know you were there.
I was hiding behind.
She was behind everybody else.
Behind everybody.
Yeah.
No, I really.
Maybe.
Anyhow, I saw that baby come out, literally.
Yeah, it was something, huh? And it was wonderful because how often do you get a chance to do that? It
Never.
was great. Never.
I hope I'll have another chance.
We hope so. We hope so. So, all right. So I'm going to tell you all. My mother is 93, and as you can tell, she's got it going on. So, Mom, we ask this question probably to you every time you come on the show. So, what is your outlook on life?
Positive.
Meaning?
A positive attitude towards everything. First of all, I enjoy living. And my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren have added such pleasure and joy and happiness to my life. I consider them a reason for my being able to enjoy my 93 years of existence. And I'm going on. I'm not ready to give up.
So when you say what is it that they've given you?
Pleasure, happiness, joy, love, everything that exemplifies good and happy things. And if you accept it in that light and enjoy it to the utmost, you thrive on it.
So how do you apply that? Now you live by yourself. You drive. How do you apply that philosophy to everyday life when you're not around all of us? How do you do that? What do you do?
Well, I've gained the strength to be able to do everything that I do. I drive. I couldn't be in Florida without driving. It would be a drawback. And I have wonderful friends who add a lot of pleasure to my life, too. And I engage in physical activity, which I always did.
What do you mean physical?
Going to the spa, walking, not doing it to the extent that I did and would like to, but I still do exercise. And my feelings are that's a big plus in my being who I am today as well. The walking, being sturdier on my feet, being able to get in and out of a bathtub.
She does. She gets in and out of a bathtub. And this is horrifying. The other night, she was on a chair in the hospital. And she was on a chair with rollers
on the legs.
And all of a sudden, in the height of my daughter pushing, I mean, you have to picture this. We're all around the bed. My mother's sitting on a chair facing my daughter, right? All of a sudden, she falls off the chair.
It went flying.
It went flying out from underneath her, and her butt ended up on the ground. If my daughter didn't give birth then, I don't know. It was amazing because we all screamed. She is on the floor. And as far as my son-in-law helped her get up, but she was pretty sturdy, and thank God nothing happened. Now, you figured that one out.
And I did figure it out.
Oh, what'd you figure?
I think it's the exercising that I have done always. that has made me resilient. And I get up and I charge again.
How old is your boyfriend?
I'm not telling you. He's probably now. Well,
You talking about Daddy? Oh my gosh.
No. I'm talking about your boyfriend, the one that
the one.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You had a few
I don't
of them,
know
didn't
either.
you?
Do you have
I'm
a
not telling. So, but my first
Okay,
love,
fine.
but your first
my
love?
first love would be 100. How about that?
He was pretty
He
strong
was
too.
pretty good too.
My daddy. But anyway, she did. She just got right up and like nothing ever happened.
And here I am.
And here she is. I mean, that is really pretty crazy, I think. I mean, it scared the don't even I mean, I could use a lot of words for that, but it was awful. So, friends make a big difference to you.
The right friends.
The right friends.
I don't waste my time on trivia.
What do you drama? You talking about drama?
Yeah, I pick and choose.
What's wrong with drama? Why is that? Or
It's
trivia?
not real. It's not real. Drama isn't real. I like people who are honest, who are sincere.
What
who are
makes drama
caring.
not real?
Just the true sense of the word makes it not real. Drama is not real. It's acting. And I don't prefer being with people who aren't real and honest and down to earth. I'm losing my voice.
So where, like when you think of,
You want me to go look for it?
my mother is losing her voice, but she'll be fine. She will be fine. She might just have a little laryngitis, but we'll all handle it just great, right? Okay, so, Mom,
Yes, Marilyn.
besides us? What is something that when you look back on your life, you go, that was a great experience, besides childbirth?
Well, I love traveling. I mean, that was the highlight of my memories. And I have great ones. Traveling to Europe, traveling to the islands, seeing new places. England, Positano, Italy, Venice, Capri.
And when
All
you did
these
that
places were-
traveling,
yes.
what was some things that you did on those trips that you just loved?
Every minute of it.
Was it the food? Was it the drinking? Was it the
Everything.
churches? Was it the art? Everything.
Yep, I loved it all.
You loved
There
it
was
all.
nothing that I didn't enjoy when I traveled. And I'm grateful that I did it because it would be so much more difficult doing it today. Israel was wonderful. I would love to go back to Israel, not to the other places because I've seen the churches and all the sightseeing. But I would go to a resort and enjoy it. What was the resort in Israel?
Eilat?
Lot. What was the other one?
I'm not
forget.
even know.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Oh, I
A
can't
resort in
remember.
Israel?
But whatever.
Resort?
I always enjoyed.
Oh, Gloria.
I always enjoyed the resort areas in all the countries.
And what's your favorite quote?
May I live as long as I want, and want as long as I live.
And that is
Wow.
her truth. And why is that your truth? Why is that
It
yours?
says everything.
What does it mean? Just, I mean, because.
Exactly what I said.
But what does it mean to you?
It means I'm still raring to go. And I still want.
She does.
I never stop wanting.
She still wants, and she still like is, cares about her physical appearance and, what she eats, and all of those things matter to you, right?
And I attribute a lot of that and all of that the early years to the basis of my health and everything to my parents
Why is that?
because they did it all for us. They kept me well, interested. My mother was young for her age.
How old was
And
she
her
when she had
interest-
you? I don't know. I don't think I
No,
ever
I don't
knew
even
discussed
know.
this. Well, she was 90. How old was she when she died?
92.
And you were how old when she died? I think I was like 20 when she died. So that was 40,
That many years ago.
45 years ago. Going to be. So 45 years. How do you figure it out? Because I am not a math
Meaning
wizard. So
Doesn't matter.
45. So she was
She was 30 something.
30 something. So she wasn't that young when she had you.
She was. But she had 2 children before me.
Right. So she had 2 children. But you were all okay. So she had 2 sons before you. So she laid the groundwork for a lot of how you feel.
She was so ahead of her times. She was interested in everything.
Like what?
She was young at heart.
Like what? In what way was she ahead?
Medically, she
Yeah.
always was there looking for new things, using them. She used cucumber on my face. Slices of cucumber, which today is one of the most popular things for face treatment. My mother used it on me when I was a teenager. She skinned the skin off the cucumber and used it with the back of the cucumber against that's why I'm so gorgeous. I owe it to my mother, and I do.
She owed to a cucumber.
I mean, skin creams. She was amazing. She's so advanced in her approach to things and interested. It wasn't even only the approach, is that she had an open mind for new things. And she practiced it.
She would have been great today with all the new kinds of, things that are out today, new technology, new medical treatments. Just she would have been great today, I think. Wouldn't she?
Oh yeah. And she was
I mean, if you were a healer back in the day when she was coming up, she would have found you. If you were healing and you were doing something energy-wise or something, she would have been seeking you out, right? And you were the same way?
Yes, I think so.
Because you did that with me.
Yeah.
So this is real. Some of this stuff is really cool when you sit. You know what's so interesting? I'm going to be 65 years old. I told you my mother is 93. Now I can't believe it either, honestly. But it's the truth of the matter is I know when I was born, so I can put 2 and 2 and get 65. The truth is we don't always sit down with people and really listen to what people have to say, or what our family, our loved ones, our relatives, our close people to us really have to say. And it's really amazing because it's our heritage. It's who we are. Okay, this is my Aunt Bern, I think, I hope. And if it is, we're going to have a really interesting further conversation because she's never done this before. Hello.
Hello.
It's my Aunt Bern. Hey, Aunt Bern.
How is my niece Marilyn?
We're good, and Mommy's here.
I
Hi,
know
Matt.
she is sweet.
Hi, Bern.
How you doing, Aunt
Hi,
Bern?
Gloria. What's doing?
Well, we're here. You're on live,
Okay.
and Mommy and I were just kind of talking about her philosophy of life, and she said her philosophy is about being positive and
Okay.
looking at things in a positive way, going through her life.
Right.
And I'll tell you.
I'll go for that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you some of the similar questions that I asked Mommy, and then I'm gonna bring it back and bring it all together, and then we'll have an open discussion. Is that okay?
Okay, sweetheart.
All right.
Go right
so,
ahead.
so listen, I just want to remind everybody you can call in anytime you like to 919-518-9773. That's if you have a phone. And if you want to come in on Skype, you can. That's computers, that's plural, the number 2, voice on Skype. And you can join us in our chat as well. Ask questions, comment, whatever you like. We'd love to hear from you. This is a personal show and a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me, having both my mother and my aunt, who, as I've told you, are twins.
Me.
What?
And for me, it's a lifelong thing, sweetheart.
What do you mean, Aunt Bern?
Well, I mean, it seems so special that I can't believe we're doing this. It's just shocking to me that these things now can be done so readily. And here I am with Gloria, with my sister, and with you. It's a lifetime experience,
It
Marilyn.
is. I was telling everybody that you and Mommy are 93, and you're both very strong, powerful, creative women, and quite the role models for the rest of us.
Can we be 93? It's hard for me to believe. It's hard for me to relate to that because I don't feel that.
Well, let's cut it in half and say we're 42.
I lied the other day and I
Let's
told
lie.
somebody I was 39.
How many
And they
times?
looked at me like I'm off the wall.
How many times do you go somewhere and you tell them you're 93 and they look at you like you're off the wall?
I had a few times, Mara. I'm happy to say that. But you know, sweetheart, I remember not too long ago going to see my internist, and he gave me the report of some tests that I took. And I said to him, "Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you so much." And he said, "I'm so happy for you, Bernice." And I looked at him and I said, "There are 3 people in this world that I have to thank for this." And he said, "Who?" I said, "My mother, my father, and my angel husband." And he said, "That's so wonderful to say that, Bernice." And I felt it from the bottom of my heart.
So Mommy said that Grandma was amazing.
Yes, she was. She always kept her cool. She never really lost herself, no matter what came about, whether it was with her children or her family, her mother. My God, nobody would have believed that our grandmother was blind. The way she was treated, like she would walk around seeing everything and knowing everything and being, one of the crowd all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I marveled at it. I never saw my mother or my aunt lose any patience with any members of the family. And it was a joy, and I try to emulate that. I really do, because I think it's commendable to have that. And not a lot of people have that kind of background, Marilyn.
Right,
We were
right.
very, very fortunate.
So Aunt Bern, I was telling everyone, and I held up my new book, which is on Amazon, both in print and Kindle, in just one afternoon, listening into the hearts of twins. And I'm going to hold it this way so you can see the 2 faces. You can't see it, Aunt Bern, because you're not
No, I
watching.
can't.
But you will. And here they are. You can see them looking at each other, the twins. So my idea about twins, after having, and I'm done this, and I'm going to ask you, both of you, some questions. Having interviewed way too many twins, but they're so interesting. I interviewed so many from 9 years old all the way up to now 93, and had all kinds of relationships.
Excuse me, we're the oldest that you've interviewed?
Yes. The interesting thing about twins is how is the bond that they have, that's just there, and they accept it. And no matter whether they get very angry with each other from time to time or they don't, that bond is there, and they hold it dearly.
Yeah.
No matter what age, no matter where they're from. And it's very interesting, and it is a lesson for the rest of us. And that is the purpose behind my book, is to show all the quirky things that twins do, their relationship, how they've gotten along, the fact that one tooth will fall out one day in one twin and the next day the other one falls out. Things like that do happen, and more, and it's in the book. But it's also for the rest of us to understand how you can acquire, how you can live unconditionally, unconditional love with other human beings and not give it up. So I want to ask the two of you, as identical twins, what does, and they are in my book, everybody, just so you know, but, and I'll start with you, Aunt Bern, because you came in later. What does it mean to you to be a twin?
Oh God, Marilyn, I don't know where to start. It's so special in every way. I marvel at the things that we emulate. That we emulate of each other. Dressing. My God, there were times where I flew in from Chicago and I was wearing the same thing as your mother was wearing, or we send each other a gift, and it would be the same thing. I remember doing that years ago when I lived in Chicago. And they're just, I don't know, we do things. I remember we both baked a cake. And she was living in Brooklyn and I was living in another area, and we called each other. We were both baking these cakes at the same time. So many like things happen. Mm-hmm. And I really find it very special, Marilyn.
Yeah.
And wonderful. And as you said, no matter what comes about, there's a very special feeling in my heart. And the minute somebody says something to me, I say, I'm a twin. I brag about it to the world.
Do you tell everybody you're a twin?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Every person at hospice that I volunteer with or just work there know that I'm a twin.
Uh-huh.
And the whole world knows that I'm a twin.
Uh-huh.
And it's adorable because I think I told you that I have breakfast with little twins that belong to a dear friend of mine. And I find them, it's a boy and girl, but I find them doing little things. They watch each other and they emulate each other. And I laugh because I see things in them that I used to see with Mother and I when we were, together or in our younger years. I always walked on the left side. Gloria she parts her hair on the left side, and I part my hair on the right side.
Do you do that on purpose?
Why, sweetheart?
Did you do that differently on purpose?
I think I was lying on the left side of my mother's stomach. She was lying on.
Wait, did you hear what Mommy just said?
What?
Go ahead, say it.
I said, I was lying on the left side in Mommy's stomach, and you were lying on the right side. And that's the way it's.
Well, maybe that's why you always walked on the left side of me, and I always walked on the right side of you.
But I walk on both sides today.
No, when we were kids,
left or right.
Oh,
you
really?
always did, Gloria.
Listen, okay, I want to hear that. Go ahead.
Yeah, when we were children, I remember walking on the right, in with my right hand in, and you walked on the left side. Maybe that's why I part my hair on the right side and you part yours on the left.
Maybe we should switch now. Let's part out here.
I tried it. I can't brush my hair any other way. It only goes in one direction.
That's a riot. That's a riot.
I'm going to try it, Bert.
That's a riot. Ma,
I may look more like you then.
So, Ma, what does it mean to you to be a
Same
twin?
thing. It was a life of experiences, memorable ones. And thank God it was all pleasant, happy ones.
And the fact that you...
But the best part of it is that my father couldn't tell us apart. He always made a mistake. From the back or the front.
And so did your husband, Herbie.
What?
No.
Herbie always made a mistake.
That must have been deliberate.
Herbie always made a mistake.
What do you mean?
He always would mix me up with Gloria.
Like he would say Gloria Bernice or what?
Yeah, he would mix our names up.
Oh, you're mixing your names up.
It was hysterical. It really was.
Uh-huh.
And
that would be today, not when he was young.
And
what
Bern,
did you say?
Ma, say it again.
I said that probably would happen to him today, not when he was young.
No,
And Bern, So
No, slowly. This is a family show.
okay, right. So it's very interesting, this whole concept of twins and just how you both look at each other and the world.
Yeah.
You know, so what are some of the what is a challenge that you experienced as a twin in Bern? What was
challenge.
what was your challenge?
I don't know, Marilyn, what I would say would be a challenge. In what respect?
Just in being identical, let's say. Let's start with that. What about in being identical? Was there a challenge in being identical for for you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Mom, was there a challenge for you in being identical?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, I have my face. As far as I know, this is it. Nobody else shares this face with me. I am this person, this unique. To a lot of twins that I spoke to that are identical, they would find something that they
Marilyn,
Yeah.
forgive me for interrupting. It's absolutely true.
What?
When I look at Mother and I see a tremendous difference.
Oh, so you don't see yourselves as being twins, or not,
God,
or looking
yes.
identical, but looking identical.
I see us identical, but there's a certain little something that differs.
Uh-huh.
I see, when I've seen twins, it's the same thing anytime I've seen twins. But it's really funny because on our children pictures sometimes, I can't tell the difference between us. I guess as we got a little older,
That's
I got
true.
more wrinkles and stuff like that, they show up a little more. Maybe through the years we change a little bit. But the overall, oh my God, I still think we look so much alike.
So
I
that
do.
doesn't bother you. That you can see the differences, but it doesn't bother you to share your face with somebody else.
Not at all.
Okay, Ma, what about you?
I never would even entertain a thought like that.
Okay.
No.
Never.
So did you ever growing up feel that you had to find something that was unique to you so that you weren't always considered like one person? That you were
Never.
You never felt like you needed to find that one thing or 10 things.
Nope.
Ma? Because a lot of times, some of the twins that I've interviewed, purposefully, like one will wear their hair long, one will wear it short. They'll do certain things so that they deliberately, and they do sometimes resent the fact that people call them the twins instead of, let's say, Bernice and Gloria, or they have one birthday and sometimes somebody will give them one present that they are to share as opposed to having their own. The two of you have never experienced that. Ma?
Never.
Well, yes.
Okay,
I
hold on, Aunt
remember-
Bern. Ma.
I remember when we were 16,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
she was,
I was just going to
she
let,
was
let me hear
already,
what you were going to say.
she was
Okay.
already dating Joe,
Uncle Joe.
her husband to be,
Yeah.
and he gave her, supposed to be for the two of us,
A radio.
a radio,
I was just going to tell
and it
that.
was always my sister's.
Aunt
So
Bern.
I always felt
mine. We
she did.
shared it.
But
But
we
he
shared
gave it
it.
to us,
but-
and I remember it like yesterday. That's exactly what happened.
What happened,
We
Aunt Bern?
tell the same story, Marilyn.
Okay, what happened?
Uncle Joe gave us,
Yeah.
as a pair, a radio as a
Okay.
gift
Yeah.
for us to share for our Sweet 16.
Okay.
And I never forgot it either.
So you're saying, Mom, that
She's saying the same thing.
yeah, she's saying the same thing, but she's also saying, I think, if I'm hearing her correctly, that it was for you to share, but it really became Aunt Bernice's. Is that what you're
Oh,
saying?
no.
Did you
And we lived at home. We weren't away
Oh,
where
okay.
I
You
would take.
did you share a room at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you share a bed?
Did we? No, we had two beds.
Yeah, two
Twin
beds.
Twin beds.
Yeah.
Twin beds. Twin beds.
Yeah, twin beds.
Did you and until when did you both wear the same clothes? Because I know you did.
Oh, God, Marilyn, I think
Well,
you'll
my
be remembered.
father got the greatest pleasure in the world
He only
seeing
wanted us.
us
And you know
dressed
what I
alike.
did?
And he
I used
came
to
home.
put a
Wait, it
safety
burned. Wait,
pin.
it burned. Hold on a second, Ma.
He
Oh.
came
No, wait.
home every night because he was in the garment center. He manufactured ladies' clothes. And he would be in the buying offices through the day. And he would come home every night with a gift for us. But it was always identical. Not different color, not different style. Everything was identical. My mother used to go up to school in September at the beginning of every term from kindergarten on to be sure requesting that we be in the same class.
And it's really funny because I just told that to somebody
Yeah.
simply because these twins that I see, these babies that I have breakfast with,
Yeah.
their father is a teacher and their mother is a lawyer, and they making sure in camp that the two of them are separated, and also going forward in school, the school will not do
right.
it. So, in our year, we wanted it, and we went all through school together.
Yes. A lot of the parents that I've interviewed
Yeah.
and the twins have, in some cases, they have put them together. In other cases,
They have
they have
separated them.
separated them. Yeah, they've separated them.
And I see nothing wrong, and I see nothing wrong with having gone through, all our schools together. We were still independent. I don't know. It just never entered my mind, Marilyn. I'm sure it never entered Mother's mind either. We just wanted to be together. It never hampered our schooling years.
So, how did you find your independence, Aunt Bern?
How did I find it? It just came very naturally, Marilyn. I guess, I don't know, we were our own people. I remember at home, in Grandma's house, I don't know, we did things. I guess we found our independence when Mother and I went to college and I got married. I was totally removed from that, and Mother went on with college and the sorority, and we, thank God, never felt like I had to have something else. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
guess because we were happy in what we were doing.
Okay, Mom, did you have any issues finding your independence?
Not that I could ever remember.
So what was it, do you think, in looking back? Because you were brought up, you shared a room, twin beds, but you shared a room. You dressed the same through the time you were married. You were together all the time. So how did you find that individuality? How did you find, can you look back at a mentor or a role model or something Grandma said, something Grandpa said, something you were told that helped you access who you were to your core?
Getting married was the one thing that drew us apart to an extent. But it didn't make us separated.
No, that's why I said, I moved to Florida.
It didn't affect us in that regard.
So
we were able to carry on the next plateau of our lives, Marilyn. I think we had a wonderful background from our parents. I think that was so
And my
instrumental
brothers.
in our being able to function on our own.
You felt like you could do things or no matter what.
I never
Yeah,
hesitated.
Yeah.
Because I that's very important for anybody that's listening today, that's a parent or whatever. It's so important to help our children, regardless of age. I mean, I still
Yeah. And I moved to Florida, which
Right.
was a big stepping stone for me. And Marilyn, when I moved to Chicago, every person I knew said to me, "Oh my God, Bernice, if anybody else had done something like that, I'd say, I'd expect it. But you with your family and your ties, but you know what? We accepted things as they came.
So, okay. So, what were you going to say, Mom?
I was going to say that I think having the security that we had in growing up and the background environment that we grew up in had a large effect on us, but of course in many ways. But I think as individuals, we just accepted who we were and never questioned it because we felt comfortable and secure with what it
With
was.
who you were
It was
as-
never a question.
Interesting.
And I think that had a lot to do with our being secure as twins,
Yeah, we never.
as individuals, and being able to function on our own wherever we were.
And what were you going to say, Aunt Bern?
No, it's true, Marilyn. I never stopped to think about, anything along those lines. We just went along. Whatever it was. We took piano lessons. We took elocution lessons. We just had so much going and help along with our growing up years.
Aunt Bern, what about, Mom? What about competition? Because sometimes there is competition amongst twins competing for something. Did either one of you, both of you, experience that?
I don't recall any. Do you, Gloria?
No. The one thing that you would have thought would have affected us being twins is when she got married. She got married how many years before me? 4 years? She was with Joe from the day she was born. That never affected me. I just went on with my life. I wasn't jealous. I wasn't upset.
How many years before, Gloria? Well, how long would you be married?
I was married 63. I'd be married 70 years.
And how long?
Oh, so when I'm married, it'll be 73.
Okay,
Like
so
3
she's
years.
so 3 years.
years.
So
difference.
3 years.
Right. So you don't. So separating, getting married, and separating, and kind of leaving. Leaving
Each
Aunt
other.
Bern, Mom, when Aunt Bern left, and you went to Chicago and Bern. That did not hurt your relationship.
Not our relationship. I remember I was very emotional. When I heard her voice on the phone, we couldn't talk. We cried. So
It was hard to be away. But you know what else I think helped us all, Marilyn? Even though when Mother and I got married, our spouses were also close and grew up together, and we were just intertwined with the families.
Right.
I could picture walking up Grandma Lipman's stairs. I was pregnant with Russell, and your father was walking down the stairs and looked at me. He had just come out of the Army and said to me, "And who are you?" I said, "I'm Joe Frank's wife." "Really?" "And I'm Herbie Lipman," he said. "He had just come home from the Army." And all the families were so connected that I think it just continued a connection through our lives.
So
it was wonderful.
It's amazing because I wrote in the book that Aunt Bern, your children, we were like siblings. It wasn't like we were just cousins; we were siblings,
Right.
which was very special through the years. So coming now, one of the issues, and just really quick, a lot of people struggle to stay connected today, or they don't even. It's easy today in some regard for people to just, they get to disconnect. They get annoyed with each other and but there's
but you're absolutely right.
So there's an unconditional love amongst twins and like no choice for the most part. I'm sure that there are twin sets, individual twins somewhere in the world that, on purpose chose not to stay connected. But for the most part, what advice would the two of you give to the rest of us in dealing with conflict and staying connected, or dealing with disappointments, or dealing
Talk
with.
on a telephone instead of texting.
Okay.
That's my one gripe. I think it disconnects people. It's very abrupt, very. I see friends of mine sometimes. To finish one conversation that you would on a telephone, they must have 8, 10 texts back and forth, which to me is maddening. First
Okay.
of all, I'll be honest with you, Marilyn. My children call me every single day and usually twice a day. Even my daughter-in-law, and I have one thing that I always say. All we have to do is say hello to each other, and I'll say, even to my daughter-in-law, Ellie, I'll talk to her and I'll say, Ellie. She'll say hello. I'll say, Ellie, what's wrong, sweetheart? I could tell from your voice. Marilyn, it's a whole different connection with telephones than it is with anything else.
Okay. All right. Hold that thought, Mom. What do you think? What is some advice? But and that's good advice, but I want like twin advice. I want advice that says this is what twins do. This is why twins are so
We call each
successful.
other every day.
Okay,
I
okay.
And I worry about your mother. If I call her, Marilyn, and she doesn't answer her telephones,
I know you go crazy.
I go crazy.
I know you both go crazy. I know you both get a little nutty. But okay, but you're okay. But that's good. Okay, what about you, Mom?
My motto is we forgive and we forget.
That's what twins do.
I don't can't. I
No, I'm
can't
talking
say
about
twins.
twins.
In general. I'm talking about us.
The two
You
of you.
forgive and you
Okay.
forget. There's a bond that I think is always there.
You just assume it. What?
It's always there.
Yeah.
And you can't be angry. I've never been angry at her for any. I may be upset with things, but you forgive and you forget.
Mm-hmm.
And you just pick up where you left off. I don't believe that it's lasting like siblings in general. Siblings can part
Right.
for reason, and there are lots of reasons.
But you twins
But
don't do that.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
think so.
Well, I don't know.
No,
Maybe
we
some
don't.
do.
Okay.
We never
I
have,
don't think
Marilyn.
so.
All right, so hold on a second. I just want to offer to the rest of you out there listening to please take me up on this invitation and come talk to my mommy and my aunt at 919-518-9773, or you can come in on Skype, and that's at computers, as plural, the number 2K voice, computers 2K voice, and there's still plenty of time to come in on our chat and ask these two amazing women about anything about life, being twins, philosophy, anything at all, because they have
All the answers.
they have all the answers. They have a
You
lot of
think
it.
so?
Huh?
I
What you?
hope so.
Well, so far so good. I mean,
We're talking.
you're talking. You're 93. Where are you now, Aunt Bern?
Poo, poo, poo.
I'm sitting in my bedroom,
Okay.
and very comfortably so, with my lights on, and having this wonderful conversation, Marilyn.
Good. And what did you do today?
Well, I volunteer at hospice at the corporate office.
Okay. And what do you do?
Monday is my day to be at hospice by 8:30 in the morning, and I was there until, I guess it was almost 11 o'clock, after 11.
Okay.
And that's an early time for me usually. And then what did I do? I made one stop, and I said I'm going to come home because I didn't want to talk to my sweetheart Marilyn on my cell phone. I wanted to talk on my house phone, which I'm much more comfortable, using.
Right.
So therefore I came home,
Yeah.
and when I get finished with you, I'm going to have lunch.
All right. Sounds like a winner to me. I have to say, from a niece daughter place, I didn't share this in the book, so this is coming straight out of my mouth in this moment. It's very interesting, and I didn't interview myself for this, but I did interview in the book other parents of twins, grandmothers of twins, siblings of twins. There is the other dimension, but I didn't interview myself and express. It's really an interesting place to be. as a niece, to have like your mother and to have almost like two mothers. Actually, I do have a young woman in my book who is whose mother passed away. There was twins, and mother passed away, and she's extremely close to her aunt who's living. And it's a very, and I don't know, but when I talk to my aunt, which I mean, I don't call you every day or even every week as I should, but every time I call, I feel like I'm going to cry. There is just this feeling that I have, and I know that, we all, my aunt has 3 children, my mother has 3 children. I think that there's a feeling that we have. There's this thread that we have that just connects us. And I feel like every time I'm going to pick up the phone to call you, I do kind of, my mouth gets dry and choky and I can barely hold back the tears. And
there is a special connection, Marilyn. There's no question.
Well, I don't know what you call. I think and I would like to say how wonderful it would be for me to have that connection, that feeling with lots of people. And maybe it's not fair to say that. Maybe it's only fair to say how wonderful it is that I can experience it and know what it's like. And would I feel the same way about that kind of connection if I could multiply it 10 times?
I think you could. I think it's a wonderful thing to emulate.
I think it's great if we all can feel that way. I
truly, in my heart, feel that way because, we have certain friends that are very special, and you do things and you think things and you carry on things with special people. And nothing changes with certain relationships, Marilyn. It just can't. It's embedded, and that's where it's at.
Yeah,
No, and good, bad, or indifferent, it never changes. That's the end.
No, I've in the past, I'm sure I've had argued with you, Aunt Bern, just like I would argue with my mother. Or I argued with Uncle Joe, just like I argued with my father. I mean, there were times that we didn't agree. But,
right.
I look at this whole world, and I know that twins were conceived and were in vitro together. That I know. What I wonder about is the rest. This is like one big womb. How can we all get along? Like we're conceived in one womb. How can we all get along, love each other, respect each other, care about each other, cherish each other? How can we do that? Mom, what's your answer?
I don't think it's deliberate. I think it's just circumstances, environment that.
Okay, so how do we shift it? How do we
can't
how do we make
easily
it
change
how do we make it
People
different?
travel or live all over.
But
in
but
distances.
how do
That's
we
what does
But
it,
how
I
do
think.
we instinctively find a way to recognize connections and value them regardless of where we are? I mean, Aunt Bern is in New Jersey, you're in Florida, I'm in North Carolina most of the time. We're not
You have
together.
to work very hard at it, Marilyn. Takes a lot of work and a lot of patience.
With relationships.
Yes.
Mom?
Sometimes it takes longer to develop a relationship.
But I think that the goal, a goal for for people is to respect each other for the differences, agree to disagree.
Accept them.
Well, that's
You're
the
right.
basis.
Just care about each other. I mean, people do the best that they can with what they have to do it with.
Marilyn, I have a friend who is so unlike me, and I adore her.
Right.
She has some wonderful attributes. She's a good person, but probably her upbringing and the things that have developed, the fears and the things within her, are so removed from my lifestyle.
Right.
But I say to myself, you know what? I still love her.
Well, I think,
and I'm still with her, and I feel compassion for her. And also sometimes will discuss the certain things, and I'll tell her, try to help her overcome them and say, look what I did with that. You know what I mean? Just try to get her out of it if I can.
Right. And I think that you will, for all of you out there, here is my book once again. And it's not about pushing a book to me. It's about the subjects. It's about what you learn from listening into the heart of someone, something, a philosophy. And in this case, the twins, previously the men, right? And it's what you learn from each other that makes the difference. And I think there's so many things to value when you listen to twins. And when you hear the threads of the interviews in this book, and you hear one twin talk about things, and I interviewed him one day, the next day I interview the other twin, and they don't have a clue what each other are talking about, and they say the same things. Or you hear the same anger about each other, towards each other, and then you see the love blossom at the same time. Or when there's been tragic things that have happened to a twin, and how the other one has, the lessons learned. That's all in here. And these are monumental things that we all listen to, and then when we do, we will cherish each other even more. Yeah. So, right? And I think that the twins, they've grown up with a twosome. So in some cases, they've learned how to get along. And they
could set an example.
Yes, they do set an example, which is what you see in the book. And then they also know how to get along beyond the twins, which is really interesting. And so we only have a few minutes left. So I'm going to come to each of you, and like in going forward, in the fact that you're twins, is there anything that you will do in going forward into your 94th year that you may not have done in 93, 92, 91, 90, but in going forward in 94, that you will do differently or try something new or something, or what? What about you, Mom?
I don't think I want to change. If I enjoyed my life the way it's been for 93 years, I'll bid on another life just being exactly the same.
All right. And Bern, you too?
I don't have regrets, Marilyn. I would just like to emulate every wonderful thing that I've done so far.
Okay. What about together? Is there anything that you would love to share?
Maybe a little vacation together.
Together. Where would you like to go in Bern?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
All right. You think about it. But a vacation, just the two of you?
No, I take my daughters with us.
Oh, daughters. Oy, that's a good thing. Daughters.
You like that?
I think, because I'm a daughter.
I don't.
Yes, you are.
It should be all of us.
Remember that.
Oh, you think it should be everybody?
It should be everybody.
My mother says everybody. So you think like my brothers and everybody.
No,
and my
I
cousins.
think it's wonderful. I'd love to have, but that's a different kind of vacation.
Well, what about both?
What about what?
Why can't we do both?
Do as much as
well, go away just the girls, and then go away like everybody, like a reunion.
Well, maybe, yes.
Go away the girls, and then go away the boys.
I just think it's wonderful to limit the numbers, and you're really having a special time together.
All right. Well, we'll have to talk about it, okay?
Okay.
But I think it sounds like a wonderful idea. A wonderful idea.
Sweetheart.
So I love that. And I really, in Bern, we only have another minute left. Mom, only another minute left, right? So in closing, and I want to thank you all so much for partaking in this wonderful experience. I've never had my mother and my aunt on at the same time, and
no,
right?
Never have.
And talked like this before, like this. So, and there's so much more to share and talk about. So thank you so much. And hopefully now we'll make a new thing where, Aunt Bern, you'll come on with Mommy again, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And maybe next time Barbara will come on, and who knows, maybe we'll have the whole
Barbara
family.
would love, well, she can't during the day on a Monday.
Okay, we'll work, we'll look.
Unfortunately.
All right, but maybe sometime in the future.
Okay,
right?
Sweetheart.
All right, so in closing, just a word or two of philosophy from you, Aunt Bern. What would that be in closing?
keep a positive attitude, keep smiling, and just appreciate everything that happens.
All right.
And enjoy it.
Perfect. That's a good one. Mom, what about you?
Ditto.
Ditto. Okay. As the twin says. All right. With that, I want to thank you all so much for being here with us today and enjoying it. I know you did. I did. So thank you so much. And it means a lot to me that I got to share this with you. Aunt Bern, I
And
love you.
Marilyn.
I love you too.
You, Gloria. And thank
Feeling
you for
is
this
mutual.
opportunity.
And I love
Yes.
you, Annan.
Love you too.
All right. Bye,
All right,
everybody.
sweetheart.
Bye, Aunt
Bye.
Bern.
Now I'm
Bye.
going to go have lunch.
All right. Good. Me too. Bye.
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 You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.